Kansas City Royals.
Jack Caglione leads off the Royals second. Caglione was 0 for 3 last night. He did reach being hit by a pitch. And Caglione lines one into deep right center field and gone in a flash.
That was a frozen rope. 114 axis velo. That ball was swung on and gone.
19-degree launch angle, which is not very high.
That's a frozen rope.
And that's his first home run at Kauffman Stadium.
Wow.
Pirates coming to bat in the seventh.
Both pitchers dealing here tonight. 3 hits apiece. Lugo retired the side in order twice. Nick Gonzalez leads off. Fly ball to deep center field. To the wall. And clear the deck. Cannonball coming. Nicky G. Dead central. His fourth gives the Pirates a 2-1 lead.
And now Nick Lofton with a runner at first, 2 down.
Go!
And hit well. Into the corner. And gone for a 2-run home run.
Nick Lofton staying hot. Slider middle. Oh, man, that just lit up that Royals dugout. You could tell on contact. No question, got all that.
Oh, man.
Ouch. That's a cookie, a meatball, whatever you want to call it. 87, and hitters usually don't miss those. And sure enough, thankfully, Lofton lofted it down the line. Lofton hot, looking for a cookie. Take that wide open hole, either hole. That's all you need. A lousy single.
Line center field and down, and Nick Lofton wins it in the bottom of the ninth.
It's the Nick Lofton game. Excellent job, man oh man. Nice to see some production in him to start getting some hits. What a really clean swing and getting some production from Lofton. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, he looks poised. He looks like he's seeing the ball well. I mean, he popped up the first couple at bats, but they were actually, I thought they were pretty good swings. You know, the ball, I don't know exactly, the ball ran in on him a little bit, but the slider for the home run, he stayed on that. You know, we weren't getting much going against Keller, and he put some of the better swings on it. And then that last matchup right there, Zumi said the guy was going to be fastball heavy, and Lofty was ready for it.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, July 9th, 2025. Ugh. Stephen St. John here. Nate Bukaty joins us for the show today. Jake Gutierrez is back to running at full speed from vacation, aren't you?
Full sprint.
Are you fully acclimated?
Full sprint. I'm out. I'm in.
Back from your poop cruise?
I started that yesterday.
What, your poop cruise?
Yeah. I got to about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I got to the trailer of it. I don't need that in my life. I will at some point.
I don't know, man.
That'll be like when the girls go shopping and leave me at home and I have nothing.
About 20
nothing
or 30
to do
minutes in, I'm like,
yeah.
You know what? I remember this story, and I'm good.
Poop cruise! And the return of Deebs.
Deebs is back.
You haven't been together in that room for a while.
10 days, probably.
Yeah.
My left-hand man.
What?
It's on my left side. So.
All right. So there you have it. We ready to go. And the Royals are, dare I say it, hot. They won their third game in a row. 5 of their last 6. 6 of their last 8. After winning in walk-off fashion last night over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And if we go back, we'll go back to your precious 10 days ago, Jake, when I said that it was very important for the Royals to go to Seattle and Arizona and get a positive result, keep their heads above water, because I thought if they didn't get buried, they could do some really good business against the Pirates and the Mets. Now, it remains to be seen what happens in these final 4 games, but my hope was have a good road trip. They did that and went 4-3. And then when they came home, I said 4-2. Give me 4-2, and you're feeling good heading into the All-Star break. And right now they've won the first 2 games of the final homestand before the All-Star break, with one more against Pittsburgh, going for the sweep tonight, and then the New York Mets come to town. That'll be more difficult, but the Royals are playing well right now. Again, they win it last night, 4-3. Nick Lofton is turning things around. His season offensively had become a disaster, and now he is hitting the ball hard, walking the game off. Back-to-back games, he's hit a home run. So very, very good for Nick Lofton. As I mentioned, I think he had a 1-for-35 stretch. And credit the Royals, because when they needed to bring up a third catcher, because Salvi was banged up, they had a decision to make. We talked to Annie Rogers about this yesterday. There were several candidates to lose their roster spot. Nick Lofton, was he one of them? Drew Waters. John Rave. Was there any discussion? Hopefully not, but any discussion, because there's been plenty of discussion outside the organization. Was there any discussion of letting Cags go down for a mental reset? We've seen the Royals organization do that before with very good players that turned out to be excellent players. I'm not a fan of that idea, but you felt like all those things were on the table. And the guy that they decided to send down was Drew Waters. And he had the most opportunity and had not done very much with it. And so they stuck with Lofton, and they stuck with Rave, and they stuck with Cags. And last night, that paid dividends. Cags hit a line drive home run, a laser shot in the second inning off of a good pitcher who's been hot, Mitch Keller, who was being dangled on the trade market. And so that was great to see Cags get in on this recent success and hit his first Kauffman Stadium home run. And then Nick Lofton last night goes 2 for 4 with a run scored and 3 ribbies, hits his third home run, second home run of the homestand, and then walks off the game with a game-winning hit in the bottom of the ninth. On top of that, Seth Lugo again was terrific. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He has been, just incredible. We talked about what he's looked like over the past month. And now you look, if you include the start from last night, over his last 50 innings pitched, he's only given up 37 hits and 14 earned runs, a 2.50 ERA, and a 1.05 whip. You would just want to look at what he's done over the past month. He's got a 1.25 ERA and a .92 whip. And that's in 36 innings, 21 hits, 12 walks, 38 strikeouts. I'll go back to, once again, look just in the month of June. Against the White Sox, 5 innings, 2 runs. Against the Yankees, 5 2/3, no runs. At Texas, 6 innings, 1 run. At San Diego, 6 1/3, 1 run. Against the Dodgers, 5 2/3, no runs. At Seattle, 6 1/3, 1 run. Last night, 6 innings, 2 runs. He's pitching as well as anyone in Major League Baseball. And now for the season, he was so damn good last year with a 3 ERA, an even 3 ERA, and a whip of 1.09. His ERA is 2.67. His whip's 1.08. And so his numbers are, at this point right now, better than they were last year. And so what does it mean? In the immediate, he's helping pitch the Royals back into contention. There's still 4 games left before the All-Star break, and then they got to come out firing on all cylinders because They've given themselves very little room for error now if they want to stay in this thing. But at the worst, he's pitching so well that if they do decide to trade him, if things do fall apart as a team, and they have a bad series against the Mets and they come out and they're not winning games, he's pitched himself into a position where, I mean, you could argue that he's the best pitcher that would be available on the trade market. And the Royals could capitalize on that. Any way you look at it, it's tremendous news that Seth Lugo is pitching so well. But the Royals are winning right now. We're going to talk later on to Scott Sharp, and he's been really good when he's always good on the show. But, you know, talking last week about, hey, it's all up in the air right now. What this team does on the field is going to push the front office to make their decision, whether it's trading a veteran or two and not rebuilding but looking to reload for 2026, or do they go out and acquire a bat? Do they go out and add another arm to the bullpen? And so for a while there, it looked like the Royals were playing themselves into being sellers. Did they dig a hole that was too deep? I don't know. Can't answer that. You have to ask J.J. Picola. We'll talk to Scott Sharp about it. But they're playing very well right now, and they're going to go, if they can continue this, go into the All-Star break with some momentum and have a chance to play themselves back into contention and into a spot where they feel like they could buy and go out and get a bat before the trade deadline. And again, this is July 9th. All this is happening very quickly, okay? And one of the things you got to look out for, you know, not that there couldn't be a trade coming up in the next couple of days, but I think a lot of these front offices are all wrapped up right now in the MLB draft. And as Buster has said, based on the people he's talked to, once this draft gets done, then business is going to get done. The draft is July 13th and July 14th in Atlanta. And so, okay, could there be a trade before then? Sure. But most of the focus right now for the front offices in Major League Baseball, looking at that MLB draft, get that done, get that out of the way, see what that does for their organization. Then you have a better understanding of what you got and what you could trade. And also, and it sounds crazy, look, that gives you another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, whatever games after that. It gives you an opportunity to have a better idea of what your team is. I don't know what the Royals are. We've seen them play terrible baseball. We've seen them get red hot. It feels like they're back turning things around right now. Bobby Witt Jr. has been on fire over the past month. Now you've got guys that have not done much starting to chip in, like Nick Lofton. Cags with the home run. John Rave is getting more of an opportunity now that it seems they've moved on from Drew Waters. And now also, and I don't know how long this is going to be for, but Cam Devaney gets called up yesterday. And we've talked about him quite a bit. And Jake, I sent it to you. There's like a 2-minute chunk of when I went up to Omaha and talked to different prospects up there that I thought we would have a chance of seeing between now and the end of the year. And he was one of them. And he got called up yesterday because Mark Canha went on the IL. And so I don't know if they're going to give him a real shot or what his opportunity for playing time is. But he's shown very good power down in AAA. And maybe he can carve a role out for himself and he can play multiple positions. Maybe we'll play that 6:30 or so. It's only like a couple of minutes of just me asking him some different questions. And it was back on when I was there. I think it was May 28th up in Omaha. But just give you a chance to get to know that, I won't say kid. I think he's like 27 or 28. But that prospect, and who knows, maybe he can help the Royals out. He doesn't have to come up and be a star. Maybe he can offer some pop off the bench, and the Royals will take that. And so very good result last night for the Royals. And let's see them attack tonight and get this sweep over the Pittsburgh Pirates. That would be huge because it will be a far more difficult task, even though the Mets have had some issues the past couple of weeks. The Mets had an embarrassing sweep at the hands of these Pittsburgh Pirates that led their owner, Steve Cohen, to apologize to fans on social media. And so things have not been going swimmingly for them, but they still have one of the better records in the National League, and they're still loaded with talent. They're better than this Pittsburgh team, even though they've been on a little bit of a rocky road. But that's fine. If the Royals are hot, we've seen they can beat anybody. They can compete with anyone. Chris Bubich, all-star Chris Bubich, goes tonight against Bailey Falter, who's had a pretty good season. Left-hander. He's 6-4 with a 3.69 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Bubich comes in 7-6, 2.36 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. And so, I mean, Pittsburgh does have some decent starting pitching. Like I said, Keller had come in. Keller pitched well last night, and he's one of the top names in the trade market. And so, even though Pittsburgh isn't a very good team at 38-55, they do have some spots of talent, and they do have some decent starting pitchers, and Falter's one of them. But the Royals right now, 45-48 after getting that win last night against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And oh, by the way, after Vinny Pasquantino crushed his home run, O'Neal Cruz, the 6'7" slugger for the Pittsburgh Pirates, good God. Ooh. What he did to that baseball would get him arrested in several states. And so that was, we could talk about that because the Royals won. And so I have no problem saying that O'Neal Cruz crushed a baseball. And it was, and you could see why he has agreed to be in the home run derby, because he showed off his stuff last night. By the way, that home run from Cags, if you want the numbers on it, he absolutely crushed it. He jacked it, right, guys? No, nothing. I thought it fit. I thought it made sense. But anyway, Cags, 114 miles per hour off the bat, went 421 feet, and it was a laser. It was an absolute laser for a home run. So nice job from Cags, and again, nice job from Nick Lofton. Nate Bukaty, Jake Gutierrez. Jake, you've been dragging feet. You want him to trade. You want him to build for the future. You're not totally sold on buying Nate Bukaty. We haven't heard what you have to say over these past couple of weeks. Where are you guys at now? Do you have more confidence enough to where you feel the Royals should be aggressive and go at a bat and see what this team can do in the second half?
I need to see more. A couple weeks ago when that false rumor was reported about Seth Lugo and the Mets being interested in him, I think I said at that time, if they're willing to offer you like a top prospect, I mean a top prospect, not a guy that's outside of the top 100 or something like that, but if they're willing to give you a top prospect for it, I think you got to do it.
That price tag has gone up since then, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I do think it's a really important question to answer because you have a huge trade piece there. Huge. You can't, and if you're not going to make the postseason, it would really be a shame to let that trade piece just go and get nothing for it. I think he's got the option on next year if he wants to come back next year.
Yes.
Correct.
So, I would think he's going to look at it and say, I can make a bunch of money with a year like this, and he's not going to want to take that option. So that part to me makes it a huge question. And so I'm encouraged. I think if I'm sitting in JJ's seat, I think, well, they bought themselves some time. Because like you said, they don't really have to make a decision yet. They can focus on the draft. And if the Royals can close out this half of the season and get themselves, I don't know, a couple games closer to within 500, you have a little bit more time then. But I don't want to be negative, but they're 4 games under 500 still, and a small hot stretch doesn't make me think all of a sudden the offense is fixed. So I'm at least willing to wait. They've earned themselves some more time to show that they can be a real playoff contending team by the way they've played over the past week.
That's right.
Here's the thing. I think they can do both, and I think if there's a bat you can have long term, then you go ahead and deal Lugo for that bat. I mean, you can make a trade that hurts, but it also is going to help you. Their strength is pitching.
You like a young bat that's ready to perform.
I'm talking about a guy who you have control over, who's that. I don't know if those kind of teams that are looking to pick up Lugo are going to trade a key bat. And
you're talking about the Dodgers and you're talking about the Cubs. In order to get one of those bats, you're talking about a guy that is blocked at AAA, and that sounds goofy to say that, but those teams are so loaded offensively. There's some really good guys, major league ready. And again, it's not the position the Royals need, but I go back to, and people are sick of me using this example, but he's carrying the NL Bada Bings, and I've been a long believer, a truther of Michael Bush. He put up monster numbers, and I've supported Bush for most of my career. Mm-hmm. He put up monster numbers at AA and AAA for the Dodgers, and they'd call him up when somebody got hurt, and then they'd send him back down. And there's never a spot for him. And he'd look at his numbers like, what's he got to do? Well, he's got to go to a different organization because there's no path to playing time. And then they make a trade with the Cubs get him, and then go look at what he's doing right now. And you're thinking, the Dodgers couldn't find a spot for him. No, the Dodgers couldn't because they're loaded with superstars. But the Cubs could. And so teams like the Dodgers, I might even say the Yankees, but the Cubs, there's some really good talent that, like you said, young, controllable, that's ready to produce at the major league level, that maybe they're just roadblocked, and you go out and get that guy. I think that's more likely because it's going to be hard to get the Cubs or the Dodgers or a contending team to trade someone that's helping them at the major league level right now. But you find the right guy. You find the roadblock guy. There's names. I've got names. We've thrown those names around, but that's also up to J.J. Piccolo and Scott Sharp. But that's the scenario you're talking about. And I know you're in love with what happened with Detroit and Jack Flaherty. That's also a unicorn. They traded Jack Flaherty before the trade deadline. Looked like they're waving the white flag. Second half, they became one of the hottest teams in baseball. They still made the playoffs, and then they re-signed Jack Flaherty. Also, you guys have to understand this, too. We don't know the behind-the-scenes conversations they've had with Seth Lugo.
Right.
Maybe Lugo's giving them the old wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like what happened with Waka. Like, yeah, you know what? I'll become a free agent or whatever, but I want to re-sign here. I'm having great success here. Great success. I believe in this team. I think, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he like pitching in that ballpark? Why wouldn't he like pitching for the Royals? And give the Royals credit. They've shown that they'll spend money on the right guy. They brought back Waka. They went out and got Lugo to begin with. And so I'm not telling you that's a for sure thing, but allow the idea that maybe they've had some initial discussions and perhaps they feel good about signing him to a 2-year, 3-year extension. I wouldn't turn my nose up at that. And you also remember that Lugo for a long time was a reliever. And so he doesn't have the miles, he doesn't have the innings on his arm as some starting pitchers have at his age. And so there might be a little bit more longevity there. And so kind of you look past his age. And so, but there, Jake, yes? Is that what you're sniffing around at?
Yes.
A great success.
Right, great success.
I love that idea.
And so, but you never, or maybe Lugo's like, I pitched well here. I'm cashing it in, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid.
Who knows? Who would blame him for that?
Right, but you know what? The guy's been in New York. The guy's been in San Diego. And now he's seen Kansas City. And maybe we've seen a lot of guys come to Kansas City and say, you know what? I like it here. And especially for a pitcher. And he looks around and he says, we're struggling right now, but we still got Bobby Witt Jr. and we got these guys coming up. This is a really good nucleus. And that's why this is not, if they do decide to trade a veteran like that, this is not a rebuild. This is a reload where, the old days of when they would trade a guy that was going to become a free agent they couldn't afford. They'd be trading him for lottery tickets and hoping to, we're going to trade this guy and hopefully in, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, we're going to be a contender again. If they make a move like that, like he says, trading Lugo or trading somebody, get a guy that can not only help you now, but is going to be ready to roll to help you in 2026. Take a step back to take 2 forward.
Yes.
And so those, what they're not going to do, the 2 things they're not going to, number 1, is just tear this thing down and have a fire sale. That's not happening. And number 2, what I hope doesn't happen, is nothing. That's to me, I don't like that at all. Where it's just, you know what? We're handcuffed here, nothing. We can't decide. We're on the fence. It feels good to sit on the fence. Look at me. I don't know what that meant. But I'm on the fence. No. Like you said, you got a valuable commodity in Lugo. Either give him more support and go. Let's go. Or utilize him as that big trade chip. Don't just sit there and do nothing. That's what I don't like. Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what happened with Humpty Dumpty, sitting on the fence. It was a wall for him, but
he got his ass cracked.
It didn't work out, did it?
It did not. But they put him back together again.
Well, but it takes a while. No, they couldn't.
But they couldn't, yeah. They tried.
See?
I've had enough of this. You guys see the fight on the golf course?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I watched that
so
yesterday. You guys have wondered,
Bad
what's
move.
it going to take to get St. John to watch golf? There you go. There it is. Because I watched that video minimum 20 times. And then I found the longer director's cut, and I retweeted that. Okay? And so I'm not here to promote violence unless it's Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, and I'll have a big announcement about where you can watch that fight with me in Kansas City and Jake. And Jake will wear dark glasses like he's wearing right now, so you won't be able to read his emotions.
Right. Protect these eyeballs.
Tremendous.
There's a lot of screens in here.
Tremendous look.
A lot of blue light going around.
You know about it, right? Can't say nothing, but you're committing to that, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I need you there.
Boy, I haven't seen
So
it.
listen to me.
you haven't
No, wait.
seen
We got. Don't do. You got because don't watch it without the sound.
Okay.
Because that's you
The
have
sound,
to.
yeah.
You have to hear it. You have to hear it. You have to hear it.
Well,
This is the one with the ex-hockey player.
There's Canadian
Okay, I'm
accents.
reading the headlines.
There's all kind of good stuff.
There's some sound effects going on. like legitimate
there's
sound effects.
so much there.
Guys making sound effects.
There's so much there that, and it's former NHL enforcer,
Right, not just a hockey player.
Nick Tarnasky,
Okay.
Not just,
who after minutes of tireless research, this guy would basically come in. He was an ass kicker. He was an enforcer.
is a goon.
That's what his job was. and that's the wrong guy to pick a fight with on a golf course.
Don't want to fight that guy in the golf course.
Okay.
They tried to help him.
Well,
They tried.
how about leave him alone? What? He's the one that's a great.
No, nope. That
Anyway.
ship sailed.
Anyway, that's it. So that's all.
Oh, boy.
I devoted most of the segment to the Royals, but I just couldn't hold off on talking about this damn golf fight.
I saw that yesterday, and like wildfire.
How many times you watch it?
Oh, at least 10.
Right. Sound up.
First time didn't watch it with sound, then I started reading the comments.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I thought Mike Breen was there. Bang! Bang!
It's like WWE.
Bang! That's such a power move to be able to provide your own sound effects when you're fighting somebody. That's like
I
a
didn't
level.
know it was him at first.
Oh, you know,
I thought it was like one of his buddies.
No, it was him.
Yeah, I know.
It's like it's such
I know,
a level.
I know. I realized that.
And again, we're not promoting
That's like
violence.
a WWE type thing.
That's
but it
exactly what
happened.
it was.
It happened, so I'm talking about it. And then it's not just a golf fight.
they're adults.
It's a former professional athlete, so I'm sorry.
They're grown men.
Bang! Take a break. Jake, come in here and we'll watch it together.
I gotta pee.
Well, you watch this real quick, then you go. Then you can go, bang! I was doing that yesterday with everything. Opening my Dr. Pepper, bang! My wife's like, is there any way that I can get you to stop?
No
or
chance.
by me asking you to stop, does that mean you'll keep doing it? I said,
No
what do you
chance.
think? I said, so it's a 24-hour cycle. It's a new cycle. So let me get through this. Let me get it out of my system tonight. Tomorrow's another day, okay? Thank you. We'll take a break. Back into this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Later on, we're going to be joined by Todd Lebo from Frisco, Texas, covering Big 12 Media Days. That'll happen just after 7 o'clock. And then in studio, this will be fun, Matt Derrick and Nick Jacobs to give us a training camp preview because that's right around the corner. Report day, July 20th. And then Royals assistant GM Scott Sharp at 9 o'clock. Let's listen to Seth Lugo, who had another terrific performance last night and helps the Royals beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. Here is Seth Lugo after the game.
Yeah, I think, it starts with the road trip we just came off, being back to playing resilient baseball and, going hard all 9 innings. And, that's what we did tonight.
How do you evaluate what you were able to do out there?
I didn't feel like I had best stuff or best command, but, I got into the 7th. Obviously wish could have got through that, a little smoother, but, I knew the bullpen was fresh. So, tried to stay on the attack and, try to put pressure on their offense. But, we came out with a win, so that's most important.
Seth, as a vet, to see Jack Caglione come through in a big spot there, how important was that, not only for you to go back on the mound, but for the entire dugout to support him like that? Yeah,
He's been, not having the best time, but he's showing up every day and putting in the work. And for him to have the home run and then a big sac fly there in the 9th inning, he's putting up better at bats. I think he's starting to understand, what it's like to play at this level, and it's great to see. He's really important to this team.
The Gonzalez runs, Kirk Wrestler, kind of landed in a mislocation there.
I think he understood what I was trying to do to him. Through the first pitch sweeper, and he put a pretty bad swing, was kind of diving, threw a fastball up and in, and then went back to the slurve, and I think he knew what I was trying to do there, and he caught that one. I think, if I double up the fastball in, I think that surprises him and keeps him off balance. So, tip my hat there, put a good swing on it and, figured out what I was going for.
Pretty efficient there tonight, even as you talked about kind of they're not having the best stuff. But I'm just wondering how disappointing it is you get to go out there for the 7th and then, it's not able to continue that after the homer.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but, like I said, just trying to, attack hitters and stay in the zone, and that's what I did, and it just didn't work out there late, but we got the win, so happy with that.
All right, let's hear one more clip from post-game. Jack Caglione hit his first Kauffman Stadium home run in the 2nd inning off Mitch Keller. Here is the Royals rookie after the game.
I got it. Jack, how'd that homer feel?
Felt good, felt great to get the first one out of the way at the K. So.
Can you take us through that at bat in the 9th, being able to move the runner and just set up Nick, and get, seeing the win come through?
Yeah, my whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. I wanted to move my Kel over. Everybody out here, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year,
I'm sorry, I'm never
That one is.
Yes.
that was like the worst possible execution.
I know.
So bad.
The best opportunity was right at the beginning.
I know.
To be like, man, just trying to grind in that.
That was unbelievable.
That was so bad. I respect the effort, but that was terrible.
I almost don't.
Right about that.
Well, Jack, being able to go through the stretch that you're going through, stay composed, through it all, and lean on your teammates, how has that helped you as you continue to just put some good ABs together, trying to get some positive momentum?
Yeah, it's been a huge part of it. Everybody's been through it at some point, so being able to lean on them and kind of pick their brain on how they got out of it has been huge. So it's been good.
What was it just like to circle the bases for the first time in Kauffman? I know you said it was a great relief, but just to actually do it and see the joy in your teammates' faces.
Yeah, it was, one of those memories you'll remember for a long time.
Is that something you try to take into the next night, or is this something you wash away and tomorrow's a new game, doesn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to kind of remember what went well, but move on from it.
And again, we've seen this with the Chiefs and Travis Kelce, where they one player will tell another, or they'll have to incorporate something, some type of weird term into the press conference. Travis Kelce's done that a couple of times, and clearly Vinny Pasquantino had instructed Jack Caglione to somehow incorporate sweat in the bathtub.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year, you know.
And so, and you can listen to Vinny back there, and then Vinny not very happy with the effort from Jack Caglione. Play that little part again, because then you can hear Andy Rodgers laughing about that, but then Jack getting criticized for how he goes. The best part is you do it at the beginning. That's your spot. And so, you know, hey, Royals having some fun.
My whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. You know, I wanted to move my Kel over. I mean, everybody out here, you know, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year, you know.
I'm sorry, I'm never
That one is.
Yes.
I mean, that was like the worst possible execution.
I know.
So bad.
The best opportunity was
trying to
right
do
at the
it.
beginning.
I know.
To be like, man, just trying to grind it out.
That was unbelievable.
I mean, that was so bad. I respect the effort, but that was terrible.
I almost don't.
Right about that.
And so then Vinny telling Andy to write about that. So Jake, you were confused when you first heard that, huh?
I just,
Like, is that a phrase?
I've never heard that.
I saw the video last night, and you could
Yeah.
if
Sweat in
you
the bathtub. huh?
Baseball guys always come up with weird phrases, you know.
Yeah, well,
if you see it here,
Keep sawing wood.
how's that even make sense?
you watch. You can see when he says it, and then he's trying not to laugh, and he's looking over at Vinny. So he says it, and he's looking at the reporters, and he
Can't hold
and he
it.
can't hold back.
He can't hold
He's
it.
looking down. He's looking back at Vinny. That's then when you see it, then you understand what's going on. But if you just see he's laughing his ass off, like, I'm not gonna say this. It makes look best opportunities at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, you grind it out there, and
Putting sweat in the bathtub.
I respect the effort, but that was terrible. You know? Vinny's awesome. I like the people.
That could be the team's motto going forward. You know?
There's people trying to figure. I don't know what that means today. It was a joke, people.
You're working hard, but you're taking a shower at the same time. You're in the bath.
Yeah, you're so hot, you're sweating.
It was
Yeah.
having
You
fun.
You ever gone for a long run and then,
Yeah.
you know,
Sweat in the bathtub.
That's right. There you go.
can't stop sweating.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the show. We'll be joined by Todd Lebo from Frisco, Texas for Big 12 Media Days. Todd, am I correct when I say that he offered to join us for 2 segments? Jake looks super confused by that.
Did he?
I don't know. You're the producer of the show.
Well, did he text us that?
Look, buddy. That's definitely not the... Whoa, easy there. Always got to be careful with text messages from Todd. You know? Oh, here we go. Sound for Lebo segment at 7 a.m.
Oh, is it in the email?
I can do 2 segments if you want.
Great.
I want. Do you?
Sure. Yeah, was that in the email?
Yeah, I put in the subject line of the email.
I don't really read the emails.
Right. Nor you should, because that's where all the important information is.
The important information is the audio. I just download the audio and copy and paste the body of the...
Boy, I couldn't... as soon as it's always interesting, this dynamic, like you're covering an event like Big 12 Media Days, and then someone says something that goes viral, and maybe you're not aware of it because you're interviewing this quarterback or that coach, and because there's so many things going on at once.
You can be tardy to the deal.
Right. And when Scott Frost made his comments yesterday, and I saw them, I rushed to I couldn't get to my phone fast enough. Lebo, what's happening down there? What's going on? And so we texted back and forth. I said, make sure we got that sound, because that'll be discussion point number 1, because you never know. And let me tell you something. Scott Frost made Nebraska fans real mad. I'm watching all kinds of reactions, and all the guys that covered Nebraska football are pissed off, former players. Woo! We'll play those comments. And it's really, I don't think it's that bad. But then it is kind of like, I saw a couple of people like
Nebraska.
Stuart Mandel was like, did he really say that out loud? And yes, he did. And so he was, right? So it's just, well, teaser. We'll have that for you just after 7 o'clock. I will let you know this. Please, no specifics. I'll just give you the area. But if you guys are interested, I've told you that I want to see. I'm very excited to go see the new Superman movie. Jake, you gonna rain on my parade, or are you in? Or are you excited to see?
Oh no, I love James Gunn.
But you think it looks good? I was enamored by the trailer that I saw in the movie theater.
Trailer looks good, yeah.
You know they got this. There's a super dog. What are you laughing for?
I know.
You don't like that element of it?
I love it. I love it. But the way you just said that.
But that dog.
You know they got a super
bit
dog.
him and was dragging him through the snow.
Yeah, right.
We should all be so lucky.
I've had a super dog.
But I don't know if that dog could drag you through the snow.
Lena could.
Maybe. But Augie could not. Augie's still recovering from a torn ACL. There's no way.
It's a 120-pound Ridgeback.
Right. Coco might.
Right.
Coco might leave my ass in the snow. But this movie looks... I'm very excited. I love Superman. Some of my best memories as a kid going to see Superman, Superman 2, and kneel before Zod, General Zod. Wrong again, Zod. And so, very excited. And everybody, I can't remember what movie we were seeing, but we all saw the trailer when we were together. We're like, oh yeah, let's go. And so Richie has a gig with Dola White on Friday night and Saturday night. And we couldn't go last night because there was like a sneak soft opening or whatever. And so we decided Sunday afternoon's the move. And so then there's layers to this. And let me tell you something. You get to this point sometime in your life. I'm making phone calls all over town trying to get everyone on the same page. I'm calling Phil. I'm calling Richie. I'm talking to the girls. I'm trying to get everyone. Can we agree on a time? I'm buying the tickets. Just show up. And so then I'm told, well, we got to see it on the IMAX. It was filmed for IMAX.
Yeah.
You got to see it on the IMAX. I said, well, okay. Oh, yes, agreed. And so then the IMAX by our house already filled. Already not, and I'm not sitting on the side. I can't sit in an angle. I got to be in the center. Doesn't matter if I'm close or far, but I can't be, I can't be, can't be cockeyed in there. That's what Jake loves to do. Jake he loves to be
I'm a
cockeyed.
cockeyed guy.
He is cockeyed.
I'm pretty cockeyed.
I'll be locked in. And so I'm just letting you guys know that, no specifics, but we're coming out here. We'll be in Overland Park to watch this thing. And we've opted for the 12:15 showing. So if anyone's interested, you guys want to meet and share some popcorn, I'm going to have a big crew in Overland Park around the noon hour on Sunday watching the Superman on an IMAX. So excited.
Might be available for that.
Do you guys not?
My son Ben, I'm sure, would want to see it.
Dude, it looks so good. Have you seen the lengthy trailer?
No, I don't think so.
It looks tremendous. Am I wrong, Jake? You're not. I don't sense an overwhelming enthusiasm from you. I thought I would.
He's a Marvel guy, not a DC guy.
I know, but this
you got it
Did
right.
I get it right? Yeah, baby.
But this particular movie, it's Superman.
You got it right.
I'm sorry, but Superman above all else. Everyone else it's Superman, and then everyone else looks at Superman. Because you know why? Because he's Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard. Look. I'm super excited because it's James Gunn. He's directing it,
but it looks good.
It does look good, but they've just gotten it wrong so many times. So it's like.
But I hope the hopes they got it right.
Right. But I just don't want to get my hopes up.
Because
so I'm going in there with.
Right.
I'm going in there with
I have to. I can't hold it because it looks so good.
But isn't.
It looked like they got it right.
Something gets me in trouble.
It looked like they got it. The last ones, like Man of Steel and these other ones, I did not like it.
Right.
Did not like it. And also, I don't know if it holds up, but I love Superman too. I love it. If it's on, I'll watch it. I love it. And this one seems like it's got kind of like that mood, or even that little tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. Maybe what am I trying to say? It seems like it's kind of that.
Well, that James Gunn's he's done all the Guardians of the Galaxy, so I mean those are fun and they're joking, and so it's like there's a good chance that they hit on it.
Like the other ones were just. It seemed like they were just too like, oh my god.
I mean, I enjoyed Zack Snyder's
Mm-hmm.
director's cut of Justice League, but like the whole effort towards that I guess that timepiece was just not very good.
But this is a restart. This is a standalone, and you go in fresh.
Deal, right.
But it just looks like this is a good vibe. This looks like the ultimate. Hey, I'm with my kids. Popcorn movie. Let's go. Let's have fun. It's summer. This is a blockbuster.
I'm hopeful.
So am I. We'll watch the trailer together in the commercial.
But like at the very least,
it looks good.
It's gonna have good action scenes and great special effects and all that.
I don't know if you heard this. They got a dog. This dog is dragging them through the snow and the ice.
Does the dog get a cape?
Does the dog have a cape?
It should.
You know we like dogs dressed up here.
Oh, if the dog has a cape, then that's
sold.
I think by the end the dog will have.
I genuinely, I think my
don't we get a sneak peek at Supergirl?
My family might be up for joining you for
or
this.
Not. You know who Supergirl is, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
There's a Supergirl in this one?
Well,
maybe.
What I thought was there like you see her a little bit, and then there's going to be a spin-off there.
You might get a tease, right?
House of Dragons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Supergirl's a Targaryen.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Also, what was the Sirens?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We haven't finished that. There's good people in it, but we just got to a point, and then we had to.
Not for me.
You know what it is for me? Tires.
We're 2 episodes in. Oh my God.
Of what?
Oh my God.
What season?
Season 2.
Oh.
We did the HR meeting.
Oh yeah,
the
HR meeting.
Yeah.
That's you're officially in the season 2 once you've gone through the HR meeting.
The HR training. I'll lead it.
You like when Shane Gillis got up and led it?
Yes.
You think he did a good job?
I like.
You think the questions?
I like the girl's answer to the microaggression.
Yeah. Right. Look, that was an
microaggression.
That was
small,
an open, honest conversation.
Yeah.
I think we need to have an HR meeting like
Do
that.
we?
Here at WHB.
By the way,
I'll lead it.
You'll get this. I've been cranking up when she's real loud. Father of mine. And she's like, stop. I like the song anyway, but now it's even funnier.
We'll walk around here with a gun if you guys don't
So you haven't seen her play Shane Gillis' dad yet? Oh, don't say nothing. It's so good because I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Don't you like him a lot?
Yes.
Okay. That was great. I love tires. We'll take a break. Something else I love, talking to Todd Lebo, live from Frisco, Texas, where he poo-poos all of my restaurant suggestions on Sports Radio 810 WHP.